Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Spotify for podcasters. My name is Alec Cuenca and I am your host. And in this show, we talk about happiness, success, and everything in between. I know you're ready to grow, so buckle up and enjoy the show. Wow, 300 episodes. I cannot believe I am here recording an episode for a 300 episode. That's absurd. That's crazy. A passion project turned into something beautiful, into something that is now a collection of life advice. 300. Like, wow. Okay, it's now just dawning on me as I imagine that, people in the next generation would have access to this. They would have access to advice, life advice, relationship advice, success advice, just by going to Spotify and listening to the show and getting a piece of advice. And also, if people would start to listen from episode 1 down to, let's say today, episode 300, they would understand a lot of valuable insights with not just how or what I'm saying, but how I'm saying it or how I'm experiencing it. Because deep down, I know at its core, we're all just people who want to get better. So I know if you're listening to this, you're looking for an idea that could help you potentially, help your life for the better. And I'm happy because that's also my mission in life, to just try things out, learn a lot of new stuff so that I have something that could help me get better in life. And so I just want to take this time for, of course, to just appreciate you and say thank you to all my silent followers, silent listeners out there. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. At ako po ay taos-pusong nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng mga mensahe na binibigay nyo, to all the messages that I've been receiving, to all the people who have sending their love, supporting the podcast ever since, mga OGs back in the day, and now still here. Thank you. Okay, and for this episode, I want to talk about some of the lessons that I've gained along the way. I think these are the top of mind lessons that maybe you can also apply in your life as you are finding, different avenues, or maybe you're at a different point in your life. Whatever resonates with you here, take it and then apply it in your life. And maybe let this be let this be a way to remind you of these things. Maybe you have heard them already, maybe not, but whatever it is, just take this time to be reminded and maybe connect with all the lessons that I've learned as well. And so for this episode, I want to talk about the 7 things that I have learned in my podcast journey. 7 things that I have, gained, 7 life lessons that I have gained throughout the 300 episodes that I have created. Okay, and starting with the first lesson, which is success takes time. Okay, this is not in no particular order. But just the top of my head, number 1 is just success takes time. Like right now, I am sitting in a very well lit office. I have a very, very generous and very artistic girlfriend who let me use one room as my office, and she also painted a wall. Really good stuff. And more than that, like right now, as you may know, I'm celebrating my 300 episodes. I also passed 2.5 million streams on Spotify. And now I probably will get more of this. One thing that I have learned is that it's so much easier for you to be successful if you just give it time. Most of the people, they don't become successful because they're not doing something right. It's because they're doing something right not long enough. Okay? It's just not enough. I've learned that in life, sometimes you would get 99 no's, 99 rejections, 99 quote unquote failures, and that one success will be making all of those mini failures worth it. But you won't be able to get to that 100, and then people would call it an overnight success or a very lucky shot. You won't get there if you don't give it time. So if you ask me, Alec, what's the timeline for this? Okay, whatever your industry in, whatever your passion is, whatever project you are working on, I would say on general terms, you would have 2 years of just pure struggle. Pure struggle in the sense that you are putting in the work and you're not yet being compensated for the value that you put in, because the competition is here. There's a lot of factors out of your control, and so you will understand that for the first 2 years your main job is to plant your seeds. After you have done that, the next level is in your stability phase, which I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I'm very stable with my podcast. I can easily create a podcast episode if I want to. I don't even need to push myself to create a podcast. Sometimes I don't want to do it, but still, when I start to record, it is easy peasy for me. I'm in that stable phase, right? Of course, more reward for this. But now the next, and then the stability usually lasts again for 1 year to 2 years, right? It all depends. It all depends on your intensity. It all depends on your hustle and your heart, okay? But after struggling, you get to stability. After stability, you get to success. And in the success, that's where it, becomes abundant for you. Opportunities, people, networking, fame, power, all of those things, money, even. You get to a point where you're successful, it just becomes abundant. And then the next one is, becoming significant, or in the significant stage, where you now pass it on to the next people, mentor people, share whatever you learn, whatever process it is, to other people. And I think that as I am now heading into my success stage, I'm also taking my time to build up for my significant stage. In fact, I'm actually creating a podcast academy. I am relaunching my podcast academy. So if you are interested in learning how to create, grow, and monetize your podcast, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Make sure that you send me a message right now and ask for the podcast academy so I could add you in the wait list. Podcast academy, that's the only thing that you need to message me on Instagram at Alec Cuenca so I could help you out on that. Because now that I have seen success, it's my turn to give back and mentor other people. Okay. But one thing that I have known I have observed as well, is that most of these people experience it for 2, 4, 6 years of really putting in the work. And so one lesson that I have learned here, especially in this podcast, 300 episodes, it's the only time that and by the way, I'm still in my preseason. I'm not yet winning. Okay, I'm not yet successful. But when I, maybe reach 1,000, that's when we'll talk. Okay, so I understand that now, yes, I'm getting all these accomplishments, but moreover, more than that, I know that it's just about to get started. So it really does take time. That's the first lesson. The second lesson is your rate of application must exceed your rate of learning. I did not waste any time watching more and more videos on how to start a podcast. I watched one and I applied it. Okay, and I watched another podcast and I studied it. I copied the format and I did it. Every single day I ask myself, what can I do? Not what can I plan to do? Are you getting this? I didn't spend much time on learning. And if I take the time to learn, I make sure that I put twice the number, twice the time, twice the effort, twice the energy on the application part. If I have learned something, I make sure that I apply it and I can see the application, because I don't want to get stuck in that loop where I just learn and not really apply it. It's better for you to read one good book and apply it for the rest of the year than to read 100 books and not apply one. It's better for you to apply the things that you're learning than to just learn as well. But again, learning is very important. But that's the second one, okay? Because one thing that I have learned is if you're going to ask me what I did, it's basically just me understanding that I will suck at the first video podcast that I'm going to create. I'm not going to be successful. So might as well apply everything so I can get feedback and I can get better as soon as I can. The more that I love this. One of my favorite words or phrases for this is fail forward, fail cheap, and fail fast. Because if I do that, if I apply or my rate of application is really high, eventually it will come back to me. Eventually the result will come. Okay, so that's the second. The third one is as long as you're growing, you're okay. I'm going to be honest. It's not everyday Christmas in my podcast statistics. Most of the time, it's really doing well. But sometimes I would experience a dip. Like I would ask myself, like, why is no one listening to my podcast? Did I say something wrong? Why are not people liking the podcast? Why am I not getting new listeners? But I also realize, and also when I see like other people, I ask myself, what am I doing wrong? They're doing so well. They're so good at this. They have better numbers than me, right? But one thing that I have learned that all of things don't matter. And what only matters is, am I growing? Are you growing? Whatever industry that you are in, the only question that you need to ask is, are you growing? Because if you are growing, then that's enough. You're okay. You're going to be good. For the next year, if you can try not to overly focus on the goals, but just allow yourself to grow, you would have a lot of leverage moving forward. Okay? So as long as you're growing, you're okay. Next, practice makes the process easier. If you're going to ask me to record a podcast on the spot, a 1-hour podcast, give me a topic, give me a title, give me the format that you want, give me the time, the duration that you want, I'll give it to you. And not because I am a cocky person or something like that. It's more of, it is now easy peasy for me because I have put in the work. And I know I'll get better, but at this point right now, I know I'm so good at it because I'm going to be honest, when I was starting, it sucked. My first 20 episodes, 30 episodes, I didn't even know if people would listen to it because it's not really that good. I could say not good, right? So one thing that I have learned is the more that I put in, the easier it gets for me. So now that I'm on my 300th episode, it becomes automatic for me when someone says, can you give a talk? Can you do a podcast about this? Of course I can. Why? Because I have that undeniable stack of proof that I am good at podcasting. How do I know? I have 300 episodes. 300. Most podcasters who start after their second podcast, they stop. But I kept going. And practice, which practice is what makes the process easier. So now that I have put in a lot of work, and by the way, guys, I know you've heard my slogan or my title, like welcome to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Like imagine how many times I have said that over the span of 2 years, probably a lot, right? And so for now that I'm saying that, it's kind of like automatic for me because they have done it, they have practice in it, okay, and it makes the process easier for them, right? And so the next lesson, I hope you guys are learning. By the way, if you have any specific thing that you like or you like what you're hearing, go ahead and share this on Instagram. Don't forget to tag me at Alec Cuenca or share this on Threads. You guys are listening to the podcast. Thank you. And the next lesson is, I know this may sound controversial, but I'm going to still say it anyway. Everyone can do it. Like, if you want this, if you want to become a podcaster, if you want to become a content creator, you can have it. But a lot of people are just not willing to step out of their comfort zone and say, hey, this is something that I could check out and try. But most of the people, they don't want to do that. Most of the people, okay, choose to stay in their comfort zones, not see what else is possible for them. And again, nothing wrong, nothing bad, except that maybe, you're one of the people just like me who are seeking for a better world, a better reality, a deeper truth into life. And so it's just a relentless pursuit for me. Okay. But even though everyone can do it, not everyone will, because they're so obsessed in just staking or staying in their comfort zones. And so this, what I'm doing right now is basically me stepping out of my comfort zone, recording 300 episodes, and then a little bit of socializing after that. Like, that's still a stretch for me, because for me, I enjoyed Zoom meetings and whatnot. And so for me, I'm still allowing myself to explore on new things. Here's my pro advice. Here's my life tip for you guys. Instead of being anxious about things, be curious. Like, be authentically curious. Like, what happens? Ask questions. Ask the Lord. Ask me. Ask your meditation. Like, be curious instead of being anxious all the time. Because if you're curious, you're allowing yourself to open to those opportunities, and then you'll realize you can do more than what you have expected yourself to do. Okay? Because everyone can do it. But not everyone will, but everyone can do it. So again, if you want to learn content creation, especially podcasting, it's the first series that I'll be having: podcasting, and then short form, and then community building, and then monetizing. Okay. So if you want to learn all of those things, start with the Podcast Academy. Join us. I'll be creating a community of content creators who wants to just give value to the world. Send me a message, say Podcast Academy, so that I can put you guys in the wait list. Okay, it's gonna be limited slots for this class, so make sure that you get your slot right now. So the last two lessons that I want to share with you that I have learned for the 300 episodes is that number one, or the sixth one is there's a lot of people that will support you. You just need to find them. Maybe you're in a space that, people around you are not supporting you for who you are, for what you do. But at the same time, okay, there's also a lot of people who are willing to support you, to help you, but they don't just know that, you are open for help. Okay. And so even if sometimes you are open, you're willingly asking them for support, they won't believe you because they don't want to destroy the version of you that they have inside their heads. Like, for example, okay, when I started my podcast, all of my friends, love drinking, love partying, love going out. And so for me, for them, what I'm doing, which is podcasting, is kind of weird. Like, they don't support it fully because it's stupid and boring and all of those things. And one thing that I have learned is that it won't get better. People will still not support you until you have results. I'm telling you, no? Yung mga, ano bang ginagawa mo sa buhay mo? Mga ganun linya, magiging, I'm proud of you bigla if you have results. So the sixth lesson is there's a lot of people willing to help you and support you. You just need to find them. Okay? And find them is by doing more and more and more content online. Okay? Just do it. Post it more. Let people know that you exist. Okay? And so the last lesson that I want to share with you, probably if you get this one, I'm telling you, you will get massive results, tremendous results, just by the next 3 months or 6 months, okay? And this lesson is none other than done is better than perfect. If you just do something, even if it's not the best work that you do, and you just look and try to, exceed the work that you had done yesterday, you'll see growth. a lot of people get into this trap thinking that their lives needs to be perfect for them to try and make things work for them. It needs to happen, but in the other way around. You need to be able to just do things even when it's not as good as you want it to be. Why? Because the more that you do it, the more you get practice, and the more you get practice, the more you get feedback. The more you get feedback, the more points you can improve on. The more points you can improve on, the more work that you're going to do for yourself. The more work you're going to do for yourself will open opportunities for other people to help you. And if they help you, that's the time that it can get to a perfect, or at least perfect life, perfect like situation. Done is better than perfect. So stop overthinking, stop overanalyzing things. Just do it, because at the end of the day, having progress is still better than not having one. Done is better than perfect. And so that's it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast episode. This is going to be an amazing, amazing trip for you guys. I'll be having a lot of live events. Come and join us there. But if you want to become a student just like me, please send me a message. I'll be attending a seminar on September 9th and 11th. And these dates will be, it's called the Millionaire Mind Intensive. I attended this back in the pandemic, but now I'm going to experience it live in SMX. I still have a discount code if you want to learn more about that. Okay, and let's become classmate on this, because I'll be attending as well as a VIP. And if you want to become classmates with me, I reserved a few tickets. Send me a message. I'll give you the link, and you can register using that link to get discounts and all that. So hope we can see you around. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much for the 300 episodes that we have done here on the show. Looking forward to 300 more. It's going to be a long and amazing journey. I cannot wait for you guys to grow as well. I'll be having a lot of guests, so stay tuned for that. So again, that's all. Thank you so much. My name is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, Small Conversations with huge impact, now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Spotify for podcasters. And always remember that you are loved.